This is McCook's Mr. Bill's an honor to have you here. All too often people find themselves in a bad situation that they can't talk their way out of. And it's getting hot real quick. Rather than to pull a gun though, or a pepper spray, and the least that's going to happen if you do that, the least, even if you don't use them, is you're going to be handcuffed, arrested, and hauled downtown. And more than likely, you're going to see some jail time, and you're going to need a bond and a lawyer. $50,000 might be burned up trying to keep you out of jail or prison. Absolutely. So let's see if I can give you another weapon instead of a violent weapon to end a difficult situation. I had a gentleman come to the door of my home, and he wanted me to buy online, on the computer, the internet, a deer license. I'd never done it before. So we got on the line and the site, and I said, okay, I think this is the one you want. And he looked and he said, yep, that's the one I want. We purchased it through his credit card. 2 weeks later it came, and guess what? It was for the wrong area. He was so angry. He came over and pounded on my door. And he had been drinking, and drinking a lot. And he was mad. And he pushed in past me into my home, and he had his fist cocked, and he wanted to fight. He was so angry at me for getting him the wrong deer license area. I decided to calm the situation down with a weapon. And the weapon I chose is a roll of money. That's right, money. And I said, I'll tell you what, $35 is what you spent. Now I peeled off $35 and I gave it to him. $35 bill out of my pocket because of the mistake we made. Angry, but it calmed him down, and I said, now you got my money for the mistake that we made, now get out. And he left. He left. And it only cost me $35. Instead of violence, could I have taken him? He was drunk. Probably pretty easy. I could have taken him. At the same time, I'd have had an enemy for a neighbor then. And or he might have got a lucky punch in and cost me an awful lot of money with broken teeth. He might have injured me a lot worse than that. And the right punch might even kill you. I didn't have to go through any of that. And $35 is awful cheap. Awful cheap. And so I would suggest you to consider a different weapon. Now I also keep this in each car. It's a $10 bill, and then it's wrapped, and I sun glazed, if you will, and let it out in the sun for most of 2 weeks to give it the old look, and it's toy money. Toy money, worthless money, and there's 50 bills in there. But the outside bill is $10 bill, a real $10 bill. So theoretically that could be $500. $500. And that $500 weapon, it just cost me $10. And if by chance, and I've only had one road rage ever come at me here in McCook, but I do go to the larger towns and North Platte, Grand Island, some of the larger almost cities, if you will. And with that in mind, if that would ever happen, a road rage come at me, and a guy wanted to fight me, I can pull this up and say, sir, here's $500. I apologize. This $500, a week's wages, it's yours. You can just have it. Take it and throw it right under his car. Now, is he going to be busy beating on me, or is he going to go after that money that's right under his car, $500? Absolutely. I'd say 9 out of 10 times he's going for the money. He's going to go for the $500 that he thinks is under his vehicle. Something to keep in mind, or to even carry one. If some hood would ever stop you and want to rob you, what have you, give you a hard time, you pull out and say, I've got $500 here. It's yours. And then you throw it that way while you run the other way. There's all kinds of ways to make this a weapon that will keep you safe. And a $10 bill to keep you safe, I'd say that's well worth it. I think you're worth $10 and a lot more. And one of the weapons Mr. Bill has, and maybe you should utilize it as well as your family and friends. Thank you for your time.